After testing hundreds of office chairs, only two have ever made it into my S tier, which basically means that they're nearly perfect for me. Those two chairs are the Hayworth Fern and the Herman Miller Gaming Embody. Both chairs have incredibly unique technology, and I find them to be the most comfortable chairs out there, but I said nearly perfect for a reason. While I do consider them to be the best chairs for me, they aren't flawless, and some of their downsides may be complete deal breakers for you. It's been about 4 years since our very first Embody arrived at our office. This was just the basic Embody, as the gaming version had not come out yet. When it arrived, I was really impressed with the way the chair was built, how it felt, and the features it came with. I used it extensively for months until I finally decided to get out of the chair. There were two things that made me open to getting out of it: the seat and the lumbar. The original Embody seat design had almost no padding, and it made it feel firmer, and often you could feel the individual pixels. This was also true for the backrest, which made the lower back feel too hard for me. I set the chair to the side, thinking it was a great chair, but not the best option available for me. Little did I know that a few changes could make a world of difference a couple years down the road with the release of the gaming variant. The Fern chair has a similar story to me as the Embody. The original model that we ordered was nice, and there was a lot I really liked about it, but there were a couple things that made me not want to use the chair: the headrest and the lumbar addition. The headrest is hard and has very little adjustment. I find it to be really uncomfortable, and I think it makes the chair worse overall. The lumbar is a cool system, it's just too aggressive for my personal taste. Because of this, the first Fern chair that we received got treated a lot like the first Embody. After a few weeks of using it, I set it to the side and got back to using my Steelcase Leap chair. Fast forward a few months and we got a couple new Fern chairs in different versions. One of them had no headrest, no lumbar addition, and an upgraded fabric choice called Digital Knit. The lack of lumbar and headrest were a godsend. Having them gone instantly made the chair amazingly comfortable. The biggest surprise for me though was that Digital Knit upgrade. I didn't dislike the standard mesh back, but the Digital Knit was noticeably more comfortable. It's softer to the touch and adds a layer of padding to make you sink into the back even more. This was the most comfortable chair I had ever used, and the first chair that I would have considered to be S tier. Next was the Embody's turn. Herman Miller released the gaming variant. They added some padding in the seat and back, changed the fabric, and added some copper cooling to the foam. I didn't notice a difference in being cooler, but the change with the added foam was very noticeable for me. The added texture on the fabric also really helps to make the lower back feel softer. These minor changes pushed the Embody into S tier. Now I had two chairs that I considered to be in that S tier category, but both offered much different sitting experiences. The backrests are what really set these chairs apart from the rest of the chairs in the category. Both chairs offer thin, flexible backs, providing huge ranges of movement. Both chairs also have a great S shape to properly support your spine, but I do find the backrest on the Fern to be softer and more forgiving. Because of the 4-layer system on the Fern's back, it creates a pillowy, suspended feeling that the Embody just doesn't offer. The Fern also has the advantage if you like adjustable lumbar. The Embody's lumbar remains fixed, while the Fern comes with no lumbar or the option to add a height adjustment system. The Fern's back is also a bit taller. This makes a difference for me because the Fern supports my entire back, whereas the Embody falls just short. Overall, both are super comfortable, but I tend to lean towards the Fern. The Recline is another aspect of these chairs that really puts them in a different class. While both are good, I do give the edge to the Embody here. I don't want to discount the Fern because it does have a very nice synchro tilt mechanism, the Recline is deep, the range is large, and it's very smooth to use. And if we were comparing it to any other chair, it would probably be the better option. With that said, Herman Miller is just different when it comes to Recline, and the Embody is top tier. The harmonic tilt mechanism makes it effortless to use the entire range, and Herman Miller chairs have a unique way of making you feel like you are rocking while still maintaining an ergonomic position. The Embody also has independent back angle adjustment, which means you can sit fully upright or make the Recline even deeper. I really like both seats, but they are quite a bit different. The Fern has much more of a traditional padded design. The pad is firm, especially when brand new, but it does soften up after a couple months. The pad remains supportive without being too hard, and there's no bottoming out, even after sitting for 10 plus hours a day. The seat doesn't have any hard edges or pronounced contour, so it's great for a wide variety of seating positions, including cross-legged. The one major drawback with the Fern seat is that it's not deep enough for tall people. If you need to extend the seat pan out all the way, it creates a noticeable gap between the back of the seat and the backrest, which can be uncomfortable to use. The Embody is not going to have this issue. While I think the seat depth adjustment is clunky, the handles are ugly, and they may get in the way if you want to put your leg up on the seat, the functionality removes the issue the Fern has for taller people because the seat and the back remain together. The Embody seat also feels quite a bit different than the Fern because of the pixelated system with that small layer of foam. I think the Embody seat is what mesh chairs are trying to achieve, but can't. The pixelated system truly creates a suspended feeling, but the pixels do a great job of dispersing your weight across the entire surface instead of one small concentrated area like mesh seats do. The small layer of foam and fabric make it nice and soft. I find the Embody seat to be one of the most comfortable seats I've ever used, with the Fern being right there with it. Similar to the seats, the arms are also going to be quite a bit different on these chairs. While I personally really like the arms on the Embody, they do have one major downside. Herman Miller chose to go with height and width adjustment only on the Embody arms. While the ranges are amazing, the lack of arm cap adjustments for depth and swivel can pose a problem. The lack of depth adjustment is most noticeable when I use the chair because sometimes it affects how close I can get to my desk. The Fern does not have this issue because Hayworth went with 4-way adjustable arms and the ranges are massive. The Fern arms do a much better job of accommodating a wide range of sitting positions. With that said, I do prefer the Embody arm caps as compared to the Ferns. The Fern arm caps aren't hard, but they aren't nearly as soft as the Embodies. I also prefer the flat design on the Embody arms as compared to the rounded tops on the Ferns. Because I don't change my arm positioning very often, the Embody arms work great for me, but I can see the value in upgrading to those arms on the Fern for that added adjustment.